Yes, people. Welcome back to the Finished Article. This is a special episode of the Finished Article podcast. This is where we just talk about anything and everything. If you've got a question about something that's going on in the real world, if you've got a question about sports, movies, TV shows, literally anything, this is the show to get it on, and we'll bring it up. We'll answer it as best we can. Um, we have been on a hiatus for about a week. With me and my co-host Shaz have both been a little bit busy this week, so we haven't been able to get on. We would have liked to get a couple of videos out this week, but we haven't been able to. But what I'm going to do, without further ado, here is the big man himself, the host with the most shows. Yes, bro, how are we?
Yeah, good, bro. How's things?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Just a busy week at work. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know it's been busy sorting out work, plus a few other
Yeah.
general ranges to strike back, but we're good to back on.
Yeah, man. So just a little few updates on the channel from us. Shaz will be joining. Is it Sky Blues Army? They're called the channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Sky Blue on podcast. Unfortunately, the podcast for tomorrow has been
Yeah.
postponed due
So
to the
Shaz was due to go on tomorrow, but the game
we
that we're
will.
going to cover has been postponed due to COVID. So they postponed the podcast to later on, but we will make an announcement when that's released. It'll be on
Yeah,
Twitter. It'll probably be on Facebook as
yeah,
well.
we will
So just
announce it.
watch out for that.
It's a
Um,
collaboration with a fellow podcast. We'll keep you updated on that, but stay tuned.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to those guys as well for reaching out to get you on, bro. Really good to hear from them. But yeah, that's obviously the talking point right now. Is COVID hitting football? There's been a few matches postponed. I think the biggest match I can think of that was postponed was Man United versus Brentford. Um, didn't go ahead because, from what I understand, I think it was the under 18s or under 23 squad had an outbreak of COVID, so it could have reached like the first team squad, so they had to postpone that game. I think United were meant to play again this weekend, and that's
Yeah,
been
so
postponed as well. Is that right?
the Brentford game was on Tuesday, which
Yeah,
me and Chaz were looking forward to covering. But then
yeah.
that got chopped off because of COVID. Then it was the Brighton game on Sunday, uh,
Hmm.
which should have been tomorrow. And the funny
Yeah.
thing is, like, so
And
if
then
you
there's
look
next
at,
week as well, bro. So
yeah,
United aren't back playing till Monday the 27th, just after Christmas. So they've got about
yes.
a 2 week, just under 2 weeks off there because of this COVID
The,
outbreak.
the funny thing is, one game they
Burnley
managed to
versus
keep on.
Aston Villa was called off because of an
Yeah,
outbreak
you know the only game
of
they
COVID
managed to
in
keep
Aston
on.
Villa's camp.
You know the only game they managed to keep on. I mean,
Arsenal.
of all the teams,
Arsenal, bro. Your favourite team to watch, innit, bro?
of all the
Fucking hell.
teams, you bring Arsenal. That's
Of
the
all
most
teams, it had to be. Was it Arsenal versus Leeds or something?
Yeah, Leeds basically put their kids out because half their squad is ravaged by COVID as well. So the
They
rules don't
didn't
make
even
sense.
need to play then.
Yeah, they didn't even need to play.
They
I
didn't
don't
need to
understand.
play. I'm guessing the team Arsenal wanted to play because they knew they'd get an easy run around against a half of Leeds' like first team. And obviously it finished 4-1. So obviously Arsenal rinsed them because they played the kids in it.
Well, yeah, that's
That's the only way Arsenal can get points now is playing teams that have half a squad. Shit, man. That's the only way they can
yeah.
get 3 points. That's
But
just
yeah, it's been
mental.
a weird
But this
week
whole
with
COVID shit, man, this
Omicron.
Omicron, whatever it's freaking called, sounds like a freaking Decepticon from Transformers.
Yeah, we're just waiting
It
for
just sounds crazy, man, that it's magically come out around Christmas. And last year we had the Delta variant around Christmas.
So here's my take on it, bro. It's really funny. So we know that there's a vaccine out there. People are getting vaccinated. People are getting protected. Whatever. But the
Yeah.
funny thing is, I think this is political. So what they're doing is they're trying to they magically came up with this Omicron a couple of weeks ago because they wanted people to suppress and tell them, "Oh, don't go out, don't do this." Dude, seriously, you gotta have a bit more intelligence than that. Seriously, if you we know we know there's a virus going, but you don't need to keep making up names for it. It is COVID. Call it what it is. It's getting stupid now.
It's just getting stupid that there's first we had the Delta variant that was running riot around Christmas, New Year last year.
Yeah.
This year you've got Omicron. who sounds like a Decepticon. Next year, we're probably going to have Optimus Prime or something like that come out, bro. It is just mad. It's like, yeah, it's COVID, man. Just call it what it is, like you said, Chaz. Just call it COVID. It's COVID. It's the coronavirus. It's just like I don't know, man. I don't even think it's not as serious as people are making it out to be. Yes, it's spreading like mad, yeah, but it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. I know people who have had COVID, bro, and yes, they've been ill quite bad, but not to the extent that people think that they're gonna die. Like the people that are dying from COVID are only the ones that have underlying health issues like heart problems or sugar problems or maybe cancer or something like that. Because what the coronavirus does, it affects those parts that aren't working well more than anywhere else, and it obviously it deteriorates their health more, and that's why people are dying. I don't think I've really heard of many people that have got, they were fit and healthy. Like, let's say a footballer who's fit and healthy gets coronavirus.
It's kind of like
look. I think which footballer was it, bro? Can't remember his name. There's a footballer who had coronavirus and he was doing training whilst he had it. He was posting videos online whilst he had it of himself training and keeping fit. And that's what you've got to do. When you get it, you can't just sit around and let it hit you, basically. Otherwise, you're just going to feel worse and worse. What you need to do is get up off your ass, at least walk around your house for about 15, 20 minutes every now and then. Keep yourself fit and healthy, have proper healthy food, have energy drinks, like maybe even have some of these bad boys, vitamin C tablets and that. I've got bare vitamin C tablets just lying around on my table, bro. Look, that's 2 packs there. And I've got another one there. I've got loads of water here. Do you know what I mean? I've got vitamins like lying around all over my table, bro. You've got to keep yourself healthy, innit? Like, if you get the coronavirus, you need to have certain vitamins to help your body fight it off. So the one thing I want to touch on, Shaz, is so people obviously, yeah, you're right. People are getting vaccinated, which, is a whole nother topic. I don't want to get into it with the anti-vaxxers and shit like that, bro. So what I don't get is the people that have had the coronavirus, they don't need to be vaccinated because their body already has what it needs to fight off the coronavirus because it's already done it. So why do they need to be vaccinated to leave the country? That's or to travel, basically. I think that's stupid.
I agree, and I want to answer that. I'm glad you brought that up. So I saw a post you posted up, was it 3-4 weeks ago or a month ago, where some guy was like, but you need to get vaccinated, but you've already had it. And I think you know the one.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the long hair and that, the video. Yeah.
So it was really funny because I can resonate with that. So what happens is those that have not had it need to get vaccinated, but those have that bit. I'll be honest with you. I reckon everybody in this country or everybody in the world has been exposed to it unknowingly because that's how germs travel, whatever. But some people 100%. Have been affected.
And there's also something that there's certain people who won't get it.
Yeah.
Right. And from personal experience, I've been around people, and Shaz knows that I've been around someone who's had coronavirus. Right. I was around that person for about, the whole time they had the coronavirus. I was there from day 1 to day 10 of their isolation. Right. And I didn't get the coronavirus from this person. Whereas you're supposed to stay 2 meters away from people. You're supposed to stay away from people that have it so you don't catch it. But I was close to this person's family that had it. And I didn't catch it from this person. And I wasn't vaccinated either at the time that I had it. I hadn't had my first dose. I've only had my first dose. I'm due my second one in a couple of weeks. But what I'm trying to say is there's people out there that aren't gonna catch it from anybody because their body has, for whatever reason, their body won't catch it.
So yeah, and this is a funny thing. So Shaz, I agree with you. The funny thing is, this is where this next topic comes in. So where I said incompetence in government. So what's happening is everybody's making up rules on the fly. Oh, you need to have 2 meters. You need to have 6 meters. You need to 10 meters. Let's be honest. Unless I go physically hugging everybody that I meet, you literally can't be any more protected than you are. It literally is common. It's not like you have 100 people in your house, you hanging, shaking hands or hugging. I said, listen, mate, when I meet Shaz, fist bump, job done.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Because you know the virus is spreading, right? You've got to do what you can to protect yourself. You always have to, even if you went out and you knew certain people that you know weren't well, you wouldn't go around hugging them and shaking hands and whatnot with them, would you?
Yeah, true.
It's like say for instance, Shaz, right? Let's say we both had a mutual friend, right? I'm not going to mention any names. Let's say this person we knew was ill, right? He had the flu or fever, whatever, and we were going to see him. And we met this person. We wouldn't go out of our way to hug this person, shake hands with this person, and whatnot, because we know this person's ill. We can catch it from them. It's the same with the coronavirus, but with the coronavirus, yeah, you don't know who's got it because it's spreading that much around the world. And I think probably like 70% of the UK has probably had some version of the coronavirus by this point. It's been around since 2019, September, October time. But we're 2 years on, and you're telling me that you still have to watch out for it. Come on, there's right. So the government must think that the people that live in this country are absolutely stupid, bro. And I'm going to touch on why this is a point that I want to bring up. And it's not incompetence on the government's part, bro. I get why you're saying that, because the government are incompetent. Boris Johnson's very incompetent. But that's another topic. But what I want to talk about is what the government are doing are giving people fluoride in their water, right? Now, for people that don't know what fluoride is, it's a chemical that Hitler used to gas the Jews with. And it makes people, from research that has been done, it makes people dumb and docile, right? So it makes you follow, basically. It basically takes away certain stuff to make you make your own decisions, right? Shaz, you get where I'm going with this, don't you, bro? I can see that smile on your face, bro.
I got you.
Right. So, and the truth is, fluoride is in your toothpaste and it's in water, right? Now, the reason that they put it in your toothpaste, because obviously it's easily taken into your body from your mouth, and that's why it's in water and toothpaste. Now, there's people out there that obviously have water from the tap. They brush their teeth and whatnot, and and those people will follow whatever the news says, because that's what this chemical makes you do. If you have a small dose of it every day over your lifetime, at one point you're going to start being one of those people that follows everything that you hear on the news.
Yeah.
Right. And there's ways you can stop yourself having fluoride. I'm not going to go into it. You can use certain toothpastes that don't have it. You can get certain things onto your pipes into your house that extract the fluoride from the water before it hits your tap, and etc., right? And before you go into before people think I'm some kind of weird conspiracy theorist or whatever, I'm not, right? The thing with fluoride, it is actually true. Like, Hitler used it to kill the Jews. It was one of the gases that he used to kill the Jews, right? And this is what people are given in their toothpaste, and it's what is in your water supply that comes through your taps, right? So you have to understand that the government are doing that, and they're aware of what they're doing. They know why they're doing it, because they want people to turn on the news and hear, oh, the coronavirus is, it's getting really bad. Stay 2 meters away from people. Don't do this, don't do that. And then there's just people that will be sat there watching it and goes, oh yeah, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. And those are the people that it's right. You know where I'm going with it, Shaz, don't you?
No,
Right?
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I wanted to let you finish up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you go for it, bro. You jump in whenever you want, bro. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with a large extent that there's a lot of control in terms of what the media wants you to believe and how they want you to lead the narrative. I think the problem we've got here is that a lot of people are jumping to rash decisions. If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, let's be honest, stupidity is more likely to kill you than COVID, and there's no cure for that.
Just before you go on, Shaz, Idris is on, and he's left a message saying football talk. If you want to ask any questions or mention anything about football, bro, by all means, go ahead.
Let's
This
start
is
it
a
out.
show we talk about anything and everything. So football, whatever you want to talk about, even if it's not football related,
Yeah, go
by all
for it.
means,
Dude.
drop your questions. We'll try and get through as many as we can.
Nice one. Yeah.
The other point, obviously, we wanted to talk about was the fact that the coronavirus is now affecting the football season yet again.
Yeah, actually, before you go on, I wanted to jump on this. So last year when we were watching football in lockdown, it was different because footballers weren't being affected, and it was almost like they'd play games behind closed doors. But here, the situation is kind of different because, believe it, until Tuesday, we pretty much had football going on, and all of a
Everything was
sudden,
back to normal in football.
everything was back.
Stadiums were full. People were going to matches.
Yeah.
Now that the coronavirus is now affecting the players, does that mean they're going to reduce the amount of people that are going to be able to go to games? Or are they going to stop people going to games again and have empty arenas again? Because that question has to be asked. At some point, if it gets really bad, like with the footballers and around the UK again, if it starts spreading more and more, they're going to have to think about stopping football, stopping attendance to football matches and other sports as well.
No doubt, bro. I think it's one of those things that, so from what I've read, they're not going to stop you going as long as you've had
The
COVID
vaccination.
passport on the app.
As long as you've got proof that you've had the
LFT.
vaccination, yeah.
Yeah, or an LFT, which is standard. You can get off the NHS as always.
What is it?
Okay, so I think
so that is another topic. We will, so he's brought Aguero. That was the worst goal ever, man, because it helped Man City win the league.
No, that wasn't. Let me rephrase. Shaz's means worst goal. It's the shittest goal ever scored.
Yeah, but Idris, Aguero has retired, and that is a topic we will definitely touch on when we get on to all things football. But I am really upset because Aguero is one of the best footballers in the Premier League. And that's a United fan saying that about a former City player. I always rated Aguero whilst he was at City. He was one of the best strikers in the league at the time he was there. It's just really sad that he's had a heart condition and he's decided to retire. I know he's in his 30s now, and he probably would have retired in a couple of years anyway. But he's 33. He probably would have retired in maybe a year or two after being at Barca. And did he actually play a game at Barca?
He played about 45 minutes against Real Madrid, and then as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, you're right, Idris. He was arguably one of the best strikers at the time in the Premier League. Around his first few years at City. And you can't take that away from him. He was one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Like, if you go back from when the Premier League started in 92 to now, in that 29 to 30 years, Aguero has to be at the top of the list or towards the top of the list as the top Premier League strikers. You'd have Alan Shearer up there, Aguero, Ian Wright, Anelka, Michael Owen, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Andy Cole, Dwight York, Solskjaer, Sheringham, Crystal. You know what I mean? I could go on and name loads of good strikers.
He's forgot Wayne Rooney, the club's all-time.
Exactly, Wayne Rooney, Bobby, big man Wayne Rooney and all that. Chicharito, I thought he was a very good striker. Let's have a look at this. I think he would retire in 4 years for two Barca, then move to a small Argentinian club for the final 3 years. I don't think he'd play that long. I don't think he'd play till he's 47 at Barca and then play till he's 40 back in Argentina. I think maybe 2 years at Barca and then he'd leave and go to. How long was his contract at Barca? Was it 3 years?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it was a couple of years.
I think it was only 2 years,
Yeah.
Got a feeling. But I mean, if it was 2 years, I think he would have stayed there 2 years, gone on free to a club back in Argentina and just gone home. That's what a lot of people do. That they go back to the home country and play for one of their childhood team that they supported or they may have played for the first time in their career or something like that. Like Buffon did. He went back to Parma, didn't he?
Yes, he did recently.
Would think 1 year at Barca and then be sold to Argentina for the final 3 years. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't even think he'd need to go back to Argentina and play football because he's made his money at Man City, hasn't he? And he'd make bare money at Barca. Now that he's retired, that means he's off the wage books as well at Barca, which helps Barca out. Because Barca are in a very, very bad financial situation, aren't they? Well, that financial situation cost them Messi.
No. If you want to talk about a football topic, did you see how embarrassing it was for that Champions League draw?
Oh, shit.
Shit, that was bad.
Shit, they had to redo it. United got PSG, and then they had to redo it, and we got Atletico Madrid. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. That was some crazy shit, man. How could you get PSG and then get Atletico as well straight after in the next draw? That's just mental. Didn't PSG top their group?
No, they finished second. Man City finished top.
Ah, right, okay.
So the way it works is that so the funny thing is that they messed up. So Man United got drawn against PSG. What they should have done is thrown Man United's ball back in so they could be redrawn. But because the ball had already been taken out, they couldn't redraw them because they're like, okay, we're like
so they had to do the whole thing again, basically.
They had to do the whole thing again. Then Liverpool got drawn against Atletico. But hang on a second, they've just played them in the group stages, so you can't play them again. In fact, you know what, Shaz, I don't know if you noticed, Man United were originally drawn against, guess who? Villarreal. But hang on a second.
Didn't we just play them in the group?
Yeah, we just played them. You can't play
them. So they basically fucked up the whole draw and had to do it again, basically, in it, Shaz.
It was embarrassing.
So let's, Idris has got another question. Do you talk about world politics?
We talk about
want to. Like I said, anything, bro. You tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll give you our opinion.
We'll even talk about.
We'll leave it up to Idris. Idris is our guy who brings up the topics from now on.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Bro, you just drop your topic and we'll talk on it, bro.
Hey, bro, you want to talk about Biggie and Tupac? We'll talk about Biggie and Tupac. It's up to you, bro.
Bro, I think we'll need a whole another podcast just for that, bro.
Yeah, I know. My bad. I'm getting off hand. But yes, that's quick one. I wanted to get your thoughts on like the whole Kell Brook Amir Khan ticket fiasco.
Bloody heck. Oh, bloody heck. So general sale is on and they're like £420 a ticket. So my question is, Shaz, and this is putting it in the nicest way possible, right? Who the fuck is going to pay £420 to watch Amir Khan fight Kell Brook?
Well, funny enough, you should say that. There must be people that will do, because I've just checked the tickets now, and that those tickets have actually been bought. So the people have got aboard and have nothing else to do.
Bro, I mean, why pay 420 quid, right, for a ticket, and you're going to be sat so far away, the boxers look like freaking ants to you. You might as well just sit at home and get the pay-per-view for 15, 20 quid and watch it. You get a better view. Ringside seat whilst you're at home, bro.
Bro, why don't we just go levels?
No, that's where we're going, yeah, but other people aren't going to be able to go there, innit, bro?
So
there's going to be people that aren't going to be able to go.
I just checked the link now, Ticketmaster. The best price ticket is going for 418. Coincidentally, £418. That's the same price you can get for a ticket to Dubai if you wanted to go.
Yeah, that's a return flight.
That's a return
for a holiday. That's mad. Idris is saying, Shaz. I mean, what? Did you hear about the school shooting worldwide? I mean, the threat for school shooting worldwide. I have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Idris, elaborate a bit. Sorry, man.
Elaborate a little bit on that, bro, because I've not heard of what you're talking about there. It sounds quite serious.
Yeah, no, well, I haven't come across that,
I've
unfortunately.
not come across that in the news, to be fair. I know there are obviously school shootings in America quite often right now. But that's a whole nother topic about gun control.
Yeah,
And by being able to buy it over the counter from like your local corner shop. It's like if you're
you know what?
gonna have the ability for your citizens to go out and buy weapons like that, then you know you got to expect people to use them weapons to kill people, because that's essentially what weapons are for. Not some people will use them just to defend themselves, right? Which is fine. But some people, obviously, we know there's not everyone's like that. There are bad people out there that will use them and take advantage of other people and try and rob people or commit crime and kill people. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles, isn't it, bro?
No, that's true, bro.
Let's have a look. All over TikTok, there were people warning about a school shooting. No, man, I've not heard of that. I did see a video online that there was a shooter in a school, and his class had locked themselves in the room with the teacher, and this guy who was trying to get in was knocking on the door, and they were asking the teacher were basically saying, who is it? And he gave his name, and he says, I'm a police officer. And then he says, just let me in, bro. Open the door, bro. Like a police officer wouldn't use that type of language, so they knew it was the school shooter or the shooter, and they all legged it out the back door from that room, because there was a room. I think there was like a glass door that they could just walk out. They all just ran out of it. It was absolutely crazy, bro.
I'm not surprised. Any police officers.
And secondly, just to talk about that TikTok, I don't use TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I've never downloaded it. Probably never will. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even want to talk about it. That's just how bad I think it is. Like, it is what it is, isn't it? Social media, in it. Like, I will use certain parts of social media. Obviously, we use it for the podcast on YouTube. We use it for Facebook and Twitter for the podcast. As you can see, the socials are at the bottom right now as we're speaking. You can follow us across the social medias. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I personally don't use TikTok. It's just not for me.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
What's this guy
you know
saying?
what? I want to give a shout out.
Just give me a sec, Shaz. There's a comment here from Idris. There was a shooting in Oxford High School 2 weeks ago. A bomb threat in Hoboken, New Jersey, in Utah, Arizona, Washington, even somewhere in Germany. Bro, like, people can say on social media that, someone's coming to such a place with whatever, like a gun or whatever. It doesn't mean it's true. It's like, Are these threats actually, these threat warnings coming from the police? Are they coming from a credible source? Or is it just people chatting shit on social media and trying to scare people? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, very sure.
This wasn't only on social media. Okay. If it wasn't only on social media, where was it? Was it in the news? Did the police, did the police say that they found someone? What happened? What's the crack? Let me know, bro.
Very true.
Mad, innit? Mad.
I'll tell you, this will make Shaz's day. I finished season 1 of Cobra Kai.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, right? When Cobra Kai came out, I thought, do you know what? It's obviously we know where Cobra Kai's from. It's Karate Kid. I don't need to explain that to anybody, do I? If I need to explain to you where Karate Kid is from, then you need to go back and watch. Yeah, you need to go back and watch the movies first, innit? To understand the characters in the TV series. But yeah, when I first heard Cobra Kai came out, I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to watch it, because They'll probably have new characters in it, and they're just using the name from the movie. But then I spoke to my brother Nadeem, who's obviously the host with us on Fight Night, and he was talking about Daniel LaRusso and John Lawrence and these other people. And I'm like, yo, these are the characters from the actual movie. And he goes, yeah, they're in the actual TV series. I'm like, yo, that sounds sick. And then I watched like the first three. At that point, there was 3 seasons of it, so I watched all of them in about 2 weeks. Blasted them out, bro. It was absolutely sick, and I cannot wait for the 4th season to start. It actually comes out on Netflix. The whole season is going to be out in one go.
31st.
31st of December, Cobra Kai. Don't forget that. That's going to be some good shit. When we've both watched season 4, Shaz, let's do a review on Cobra Kai season 1 to 4.
Done.
Yeah, that's a done deal. That is a done deal for January, boys and girls. What is Idris going on about? It was outside the schools of most states. What was outside the schools though? Like, where were the threats coming from? Like, who was saying that there's a threat? That's what I'm trying to get at, Idris. Like, who's saying there was a threat? Who was saying, whatever's going on is going to happen? Was it just on social media? Was it in the news? Were the police involved? You know what I mean? And secondly, Idris, are you from the UK? That's just another question I just thought I'd ask. I don't even know where you're from, bro. I live in Verona, New Jersey, and Hoboken is 31 minutes away from us. Right.
It's from the US.
So he's from the US. Okay.
That makes sense now.
So a question, Idris, you're from New Jersey. Have you heard of the UW Battle League? Arsenal, Math Hoffa, Diz, and all them people. Have you heard of all of them? Just I watch a lot of battle rap in it, so that's why I know about them. So do you watch battle rap or are you not into it, Idris? But yeah, Cobra Kai, it's absolutely sick. Go watch it. Have you watched Power Book 2 Season 2 yet, Shaz? The second season of it. You've watched the second season? Have you've watched the first and second now?
Yeah.
Nice. Because the second one, you know what? I don't really want to ruin it for many people, but I'm going to talk about it. The character who's Zeke, he's just dumb as fuck. I'm sorry, he just is. I just can't put it any nicer. He's just so dumb.
I'm glad you said it.
It's like, yeah, he's a good basketball player, but he's dumb as fuck. I'm sorry for using that type of language, bro. He's just daft. What are your thoughts on him, Shaz? What are your thoughts on him?
Funny as how I pissed myself laughing. You summed it up perfectly. I was just waiting for you to say it because I knew you were going to drop it. I was like, bro, I looked at him. I said, bro, this reminds me of someone I know. We both know. I was like, bro, this is embarrassing. There's I left it at that. But right, I won't go.
Idris says he doesn't watch that stuff. I guess he's referring to the battle rap, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Power, the whole, like, whatever you want to call it, the Power universe or whatever it is, I'm enjoying it. Like, you've had Power, which was a main one, which had the first 6 seasons, right? And then they've got all these spin-offs. You've got book 2, which is obviously basically straight after what happened at the end of season 6. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Tariq killed Ghost. If you haven't watched Power by this point, there's something wrong with you up here. I don't care if I've just spoiled it for you. Like, Tariq is a little bitch. Right? I can't stand Tariq. Like, if you watch season 1 to 6 of Power and you actually like Tariq, you need to be in prison because you're a criminal.
Tariq.
I cannot stand Tariq, right? So book 2 is about what happens to Tariq and his family after he's killed his dad. But the one that's most interesting to me at the moment is book 3, Raising Kanan. And for people who haven't watched Power, Kanan is the character played by 50 Cent in Power, and book 3 is when he's younger with his family and how he gets into the business. And I think it's really good to be able to get a backstory on character like that.
I was just about to say yes. Yeah. So one of the things that I like um, about this whole Power series, and you've touched upon it, is the fact that they're tying all of the loose ends up. So it's not
Mhm.
just 1 to 6. You're talking about the backstories of various characters, which actually
Yeah,
gives
I mean, I
credence.
think, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a book 4 which follows Tommy
Yes.
after he leaves the area. And I think, so they've said that there's a book, I don't know which one it's going to be, and I've got a feeling it's Raising Canaan, maybe the next season or the season after, because they said they're going to go back to when Tommy and Ghost and Angela were younger as well. And I guess that's where they're tying with Canaan, because
They
I
need to
think
tie that up.
I think Kanan is older than him because
Yeah,
they
yes.
always talk about him getting them into the game. So I think we're going to follow Raising Kanan
So do you remember the end of
until he
season
meets them.
6? You remember the end of season 6
Mhm.
when it showed a clip of their kids? So my guess is Kanan was older. He basically
Yeah,
taught these guys the ropes. Then
yeah.
what happened is that obviously we know the
Then
backstory.
Ghost put him in prison.
Yeah,
Ghost got him arrested. And then Tommy found out and went sick on him for it.
and
I remember that.
that's why Kanan screwed Ghost over when he asked him to go and kill his best mate.
Yes.
At the
Yes.
start, that was his in.
Yeah.
Get it
That's
back
it.
in.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a feeling there will be another book of when those lot were younger, or it could tie in into Raising Canaan when he gets out of school and starts getting into that business, and then he meets Tommy and Ghost. But I've got a feeling that their story is going to be different when they're younger until they meet Canaan. So
Yeah,
what you could do, you have book 3 and maybe a book 4 of when the Canaan's younger and when they're younger, and then they both tie in together at the end where they meet each other.
no doubt, no doubt.
And then maybe what I would like to see is obviously in Power, the first episode, it just kicks off straight away. Like
Oh,
Ghost has got his nightclub, and then they bring that guy there who they kill.
yeah. Oh, shit,
Like
yeah.
I would like to see how they got to that point. I would like to see how Ghost and everyone got to that point. So maybe do like a few prequel seasons, and build up to that episode and how they got to it. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, and on that note, let me throw a bombshell. So, well, not bombshell. It's not really, but over the week or last couple of days, I went to watch Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
No
So
spoilers, bro. Don't be doing that, right?
I'm not doing
Don't do
spoilers.
not be talking about Spider-Man, the new movie on here, bro,
All
because
I'm
you're gonna
saying is go
ruin it
watch
for a
it.
lot of people.
All I'm saying is go watch it. Trust me.
That's fine. Don't
Yeah.
say anything else, bro, because if you ruin it for people,
Wow.
I'm gonna have to kick you off the show, innit? No, I'm joking. Idris has got some comments here. The SpaceX and NASA feud has gone wild. Yep, they're suing the life out of each other. I actually quite enjoy stuff about space. But the whole thing of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos flying themselves into space just because they're billionaires is just daft. Like, you can spend billions on a rocket to send yourself into space, but you can't spend that money feeding the poor and housing the poor or the homeless.
It's too much
Like,
effort.
how much of a dickhead must you be if you've got that much money and you'd rather spend it on, building a space shuttle or whatever and sending yourself into space just because you've got the money than spending that money maybe feeding the poor or the homeless in your own country. I'm not saying, do it for people in all these other countries, third world countries. No, do it in your own country if you want to, or do it anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Akon brought electricity to certain parts of Africa that didn't have it with his money. So the question is, all this money that's going into charities, where is it being used? Because if Akon can do that with his money, these charities make millions, bro. These big charities like Children in Need and other charities, they make millions a year, bro. Right? So where does that money go?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? If Akon can spend his own money that he's earned and bring electricity to parts of Africa, why cannot these why do these charities not do that? Because they make that type of money a year. Idris has got these comments. Elon Musk is trying to civilianize basically Mars because people are slowly destroying Earth. Yeah, but Elon Musk is a bit of a dick, in it, let's be honest. To be honest, I actually like the company Tesla. I like what they're doing with electronic vehicles and stuff. And I like their technology. I mean, they're bringing out a Tesla phone. It's called the Pi phone. And I've watched quite a lot of videos on this new phone, and apparently it's going to smash the iPhone out of the park, bro. Now, I don't know how much. Okay, I'll ask you a question, Jazz. How much do you know about Starlink?
Nothing.
Okay, it's basically an Elon Musk idea. So what he's done, it's an internet connection basically, but it runs off satellites. What Elon Musk is doing, he's sending about a couple of 100 or 1,000 satellites into space that will stay around the Earth, and they'll all connect to each other. So wherever you are in the world and you're connected to Starlink, which is these satellites, you will have an internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's live right now. You can go onto the website at Starlink and order Starlink to your address. And it's meant to be really good. It's meant to be really powerful. And I like that idea because it'll bring internet to areas where you might not be able to get internet right now through full fiber broadband or through the copper wire or whatever it is. I think it's a really good idea. The Tesla phone looks really interesting. That's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. Might have to get myself one of those and test it out. Let's have a look what he's saying. Jeff Bezos is trying to limit the weight on Earth. I have no idea what you mean by that. All right. So Jeff Bezos is trying to limit the weight on Earth so it doesn't collapse. The Earth won't collapse. What are you on about? Or what is Jeff Bezos on about? How is the world going to collapse with weight on it? That's why we've got gravity for. Come on, people. It's science. Elon Musk is trying to save civilization. Bezos is trying to save the Earth with the civilization. Musk's idea is more realistic. So it's more realistic to fly everybody to Mars and live on Mars than save the planet that we're already on.
Oh, okay. Man.
So there's easier ways to save this planet than what Jeff Bezos is trying to do, right? Like, do I really need to go into that, Shaz?
No.
No? Okay, good. I thought I had to go into it at that point because that comment from Idris there has just baffled me, man.
Nah,
Musk's idea is not more realistic, bro. Right? It would cost billions and billions of dollars to colonize Mars and then get people to actually live there.
Mars is practically next to the sun. You go there.
So how long does it take to get to Mars? It's like 1.5 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
On a shuttle or whatever. So you'd have to sit in a ship or a spaceship or whatever for 1.5 years to get to a planet for no reason when you could just stay on this planet and save this planet. Right?
Yeah,
Idris, no, hold on. Right? I really need to ask Idris a question, bro. How is Musk's idea more realistic? How is it more realistic trying to colonize another planet than save the planet that we are already living on? I really need you to answer me that question, bro. Musk has calculated it takes 9 months, right? So 9 months, that doesn't matter, but just answer my question, bro. Jeff Bezos' idea is complicated. How is it more complicated to save the planet that we are on? I really need you to elaborate on what you're saying here because I'm really confused with what you're saying, bro. Let's see. Like, Shaz, what are your views on what are your views on these comments, bro, from Idris? Come on, bro. I want to hear your comments on this, bro. You've gone quiet on me, bro.
I think this is for me. It's really simple. This is not even worth a discussion. Literally to literally fly into space, go save another planet, make it habitable. I think is kind of something like pointless.
Right.
It's just something that I think there's better ways to utilize time. Going halfway across
And
the
money,
world,
bro.
something.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. So Idris has said the way he is trying to save the planet is impossible, right? I get his idea is impossible, but there's other ways besides his idea of saving this planet. So it's not more complicated to save this planet than colonize another planet, bro. Come on. He is trying to colonize people in the second sky, which is just dumb.
You're watching. Idris has been.
Idris, what does that comment even mean? Second sky. What the heck is a second
You know
sky?
what? We've been watching that film. What's it called? Inter.
Intergalactic or something?
Yeah, Intermission. Oh, I can't remember. I remember
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yeah, that's what he's watching. He's like gone mad.
No, some of these comments, Idris, man, I'm baffled by what you're saying, bro. I really am.
Oh,
Like
man.
you're confusing me with some of these comments that it's easier to move all civilization and colonize Mars where there's no water and there's no oxygen than save the planet that we live on that has water and has oxygen. Right?
Yeah.
Do I need to make it any more simpler than that, Shaz?
Well, I didn't think he had to, but clearly Idris is proving otherwise.
Bro, I mean, I don't even know, man. That's just bizarre, man. That's just crazy as shit, man.
Yeah.
Idris, you've got some crazy views on stuff, bro. You've got some crazy views. Do you want to come on the show sometime, bro? And we'll talk about some of your views on some of these things, bro. Because I wanna have a proper conversation with you instead of just in the comments, bro. Like it'd be really interesting to get your views on some other stuff as well. I think it'd make for an interesting couple of episodes to get you on, bro. Wow. He is saying to put almost everything on Earth on the air with bridges. Is this Jeff Bezos? Because Bezos sounds like a knob. Like that's you are right. I mean, his idea is stupid, but like I said, there's other ways besides his idea to save this planet. Like you can't just. I mean, yes, he has an idea, but it's not a good idea. How are you supposed to build billions of bridges on Earth? We don't need bridges on Earth. What are you on about, man? There's other ways of saving this planet, like planting more trees, cleaning the ocean from plastic. What else is there? Use less petrol and diesel, save the ozone layer. Do you know what I mean? Do you want me to carry on? There's loads more, man. But if the whole world, if the whole population got together to save the planet, I think the billions of people on this planet could come up with certain ideas to save the planet than one idiot called Jeff Bezos.
Oh man, it's hilarious. I mean,
Musk has already started small living creatures on Earth. What are you even on? Do you mean Mars? I don't know, man. That's craggy.
I think Idris is missing his football talk. Well, that's what happens. You follow Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, Mr. Beast's idea is the most realist. Okay. So what is Mr. Beast's idea? I want you to elaborate on that, bro. What is this guy's idea? Mr. Beast is I'm guessing that's the YouTuber in it who does these ridiculous videos and stuff, yeah. I've heard the name somewhere. He is raising millions of dollars to saving the earth, which is a good thing. Like whoever's trying to save the earth, they're doing a good thing, innit? There's only so much you can do to save the planet. Like everybody who lives here has to be involved.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But I'll leave you in the hands of Shaz. I'll be back in a bit. I just message Shaz. I'll leave you in his capable hands in the meantime.
Yeah, no worries. You go, bro. You go.
No worries. In a bit.
You go, my G. Yes, people. My guy has to go for a little bit. He said he will be back in a bit. So you're stuck with this pretty little face of mine. But yeah, he has made $17 million to save the ocean. He has already raised millions of dollars for trees too. Like, see, like I'm saying, Idris, these ideas this guy has is better than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is an absolute bellend. He's made he might be a billionaire, but on he might be only good as a businessman, not in ideas of how to save the planet. Like, the planet is obviously some priority to save because we live here. Without the planet, there would be no people here. You can't just up and leave the planet and go to another planet because the people here have destroyed this one. You're going to get to another planet and then you're going to destroy that one. And then you're going to move to another one. And you're just going to keep trying to move planet to planet. What's the crack? Yeah, I understand Mr. Beast doesn't have the money to do it, but he's still trying his best and he's raising money. As you said, like he's raised 17 million, which is a lot to raise to save the ocean and save trees and stuff like that. That's a brilliant idea. And I wish there were more people, who had money that would spend it on trying to save it, because that's a priority. Like, all these billionaires could come up, like put a couple of million or a billion in each into a pot and save the planet. They could feed the homeless. They could house the homeless and feed the poor if they wanted to. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy, Idris. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on, man. This is what you get for being a Chelsea fan, Idris, man. Like, you have some weird, like, stuff going on in your head, bro. He has over 100 million to 1 billion people on his side. Who's that? Are we talking about Mr. Beast or are we talking about Bezos here? Oh, well, he gives thousands to millions of dollars to the poor. All right, I'm guessing we're talking about Mr. Beast here still. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of his videos where he gives money to the poor and he buys things for other people, which is really nice of him. Like, he's giving back to basically his viewers or the communities that he does his videos in, which is really good. It's always good to give back to the people that helped you. That's all I'm saying on that topic. But what about Chelsea, Idris? Like, what's going on with Chelsea? I'm gonna have a quick look at Chelsea. Did they play today? Did Chelsea play? They play tomorrow against Wolves. Sick. And then they've got Brentford and then Aston Villa. Nice. What's this? We have the Microsoft owner who has paid $63 million for charity overall. We're talking about Bill Gates there, aren't we? Yeah, Bill Gates has put a lot of money into charity. He doesn't own Microsoft anymore. I think he's sold Microsoft or he's left, if you're talking about Bill Gates. From what I remember, he has left. I don't know who owns Microsoft now. Let's have a quick look. The top shareholders of Microsoft are Satya Nadella, Bradford Smith, Jean-Philippe Courtois, Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock Inc., and State Street Corp. Those are the biggest 6 shareholders right now of the company. So Bill Gates actually doesn't own them anymore. So he sold the vast majority of his Microsoft stock before leaving the board in 2020. So he chipped out of there, man, last year. That's crazy. He spent a lot of time building Microsoft from the 90s, the 80s, the early 80s, the late 80s and stuff. He built them into $1 billion company and then sold his shares and chips. He made his money and left. Good on him. Because Microsoft, I don't really like Microsoft that much. Like, their operating system, Windows, is a shambles at sometimes. It's like one of the worst operating systems you can use. I prefer things that are open source. So, things like Linux or other stuff. I can't remember the names of the others, but there are others out there to use. But yeah, I've always used. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't use the other macro. I don't use a lot of the other operating systems because they're not all compatible with the softwares that I need and that I use. Microsoft is compatible with literally everything because at the moment Windows is the standard for everything. But like on Linux, you can get certain things to work on there that quite a lot of things are being compatible now with Linux, but not everything is. I heard he owns 1% of Apple stocks, which is pretty big if you think about it. Yeah, definitely. 1% of owning Apple could make you millions because they're such a big company right now, or Apple, with the iPhone, iPod, iPad, AirPods. Apple are even getting into electrical vehicles as well. They're trying to battle with Elon Musk's Tesla cars with Apple cars. Believe it or not, I've watched a couple of videos on development of the Apple car. It's just crazy. So it's self-driving research on the car. Around 5,000 employees were reported to be working on the Apple self-driving car in 2018. Apple will fail because they've never dealt with making cars and stuff like that before. They've dealt with iPhones and gadgets. They've never done anything really big like cars. Like Elon Musk has had Tesla cars out for a while, and people drive them. And I think they won't beat Tesla. I think right now Tesla is the leader in electronic vehicles in most countries. I'm going to say there is another company. They're making electric cars. It's a Turkish company. What are they called? Just bear with me. A TOG, they're called. The first model is an SUV with a range of up to 500 kilometers. It's going into production in the fourth quarter of 2022. Yeah, definitely, Idris. Handling a car company is much more complex than just electronics. Definitely, there's a lot that goes into making a car, like the design, the safety, battery for electric cars. If it's self-driving, that's even more, automated than other vehicles. So you've got to have the safety feature of being able to take over from the electronic car if it's driving you the wrong way or on the wrong side of the road or off a cliff or something. You've got to have a lot of safety features in cars. It has to pass a lot of checks, crash tests, and also it's just mad. But yeah, the car that I saw online, it was a Turkish company called TOG making an electric car. And honestly, it looks so good. It's going into production next year. I think from what I remember, it's funded by the Turkish government. Musk, I'm guessing, was pretty lucky with SpaceX, though. I don't think he was lucky. I think he knows what he's doing. Like, he's not stupid. He employs the right type of people to make the right type of products for him. He had 40 million, and it was a big risk to split it into halves. Yeah, I mean, he took a risk, and it did pay off, but I think he knew that risk was going to pay off. I think Elon Musk invests heavily in cryptocurrencies. He invests heavily in Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and all sorts. He's a very big investor in cryptocurrency, and he's very clever at it. So he'll invest in a currency, he'll talk about it and tweet about it online, which will make more people buy it, which puts the value up. And then once the value goes up, he'll pull out, take all his money out. He doesn't care about the other people that bought it when it's gone up because they'll lose out. He won't. He doesn't care. That's how he makes money. But yeah, Google the name TOG, TOGG. It's a car company from Turkey that are making their first electric vehicle. They've been testing it. There's loads of videos about it online. Even the president of Turkey has gone out and test driven it. That's very true. Both companies could have died if it didn't work out. But he's put his faith in it, and it paid off, and now he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? That 40 million that he had has now made him a billionaire. Sorry. So good job to him. Like, he knows what he's doing with making money. He's very clever, very smart person. Just bear with me, folks. I think Shaz is going to be joining us again soon. I don't know if he will be on now. Just bear with me. Sorry about that, folks. No worries, Idris. You enjoy your studying and good luck with your studies, dude. I appreciate you coming in with the comments. It doesn't look like my boy Shaz is going to get back on. So I'm going to end the show now. There's not much else I can talk about on my own. So we will be back later on this week with more videos, more content, football, the wrestling, the TV as a movie stuff. Sky Blues show will be back, and Shaz and maybe the other horse from Sky Blues will be on the other podcast that we talked about earlier, the Sky Blues Army podcast. So big shout out to everybody involved in that from their side to get Shaz and the other guys on. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate the love and support. And thank you everyone for tuning in.